Oh, shit. Ah, damn it. I said last week I was going to change the music.
Look at you.
You piece of shit.
Look at you now. You piece of shit.
Talking Normies
Podcast.
Hey, what up, ladies and girls? It's the crew coming at you a little bit of Talking Normies Podcast. My name is Chris Mother-Lovin' Johnson. Oh, nope, that's right. I can cuss. Chris motherfucking Johnson.
I'm Pat.
I'm Spidey. What's up, you guys?
Hey, man, nothing much. Guys, you'll notice that our fourth choom here is missing.
Mm-hmm.
He's out.
He gone.
He is not feeling great today. And so that's why he ain't here. But we're going to trudge on without him because we're a team. And a team
So drawn.
we can play one man down. We just all got to pull a 1/4 extra.
We're that good.
Weekend catch up. What you fools doing on the weekend? Fuck the weekend. What you been doing over the whole week? How about that? Week catch up. I'm changing.
We catch up.
What you been doing over this week?
Ah, shit. What I've been doing? I haven't. You know what? Just working out. Same old shit. But the NBA trade deadline happened this week, so I was really focused on that.
Huh. That was a big part of life for you.
Yeah, you know.
Gotcha. Nice. Okay. I did the Back to the Topic podcast last weekend. Actually.
Hey,
yeah, shout out to
how'd
Eli
that go?
and them if they're. It was fun, man. It was a lot of fun. I'd love to go back and do it again.
Who's better?
What do you mean?
Come on, who's better?
Bro, if I'm in it, it's great. Like,
That's the right answer.
so on average. But other than that, me and Bria have been preparing for. She's been doing. She's hosting the Valentine's Day event.
I heard.
Yeah, this
What's
weekend. It's Valentine's Day, but just like for your
For the
ladies and your
gals.
friends. Yeah, for the
But where
ladies.
at? Where's she hosting it?
In my apartment. Our apartment.
Oh, I thought this was like you guys were doing it like an official, like, you know, like you guys send tickets and shit like that.
Nah, not yet. We're testing the waters on that.
Yeah, it's low key.
Yeah.
You gotta be on the end to get invited.
So we've been like prepping food and like getting the apartment ready, buying different stuff for that and all that jazz.
Nice.
We made handmade gyoza last night. Fire.
Hold on. Are you gonna be there?
Are you a gal?
So the question, basically, I'm gonna be in the office playing games for the 2
Are you
hour.
gonna be there getting to eat the food?
I made the food.
Man, fuck you. Some bullshit.
Yeah, well, Bria made the food, but I
so I'm over here. Like, I'm gonna be at the
Maybe you
home
guys
with
should
the
hook
cat
up.
eating pasta.
Maybe you guys should hook up and eat pasta together.
No, man, he's playing video. What you
I'm gonna be there to help Bria too, so she
You
can
play
also
Call of
like
Duty?
enjoy the night. Yeah, most likely.
All right, I'll hop on with you then.
Bet. Yeah, I need someone to run through DMZ with, man.
All right, yeah. I haven't played DMZ.
You guys stop playing that game?
Bro, hell yeah! What do you mean? That's
DMZ
crazy.
is
Right.
So, last week I did a little bit of bus work. We drove up to Noblesville, but on my drive I was listening to it's Bert and Bill. It's the Bill and Bert podcast. It's why am I blanking his name? Funny Bill, White
Burr?
Bill Burr. There it is.
Nice.
And Bert, I forget Bert's last name, but he's the dude who's got that stand-up routine where he's like, "I'm the machine."
Bert Kershaw.
Yeah. So I was listening to that, and this is I wanted to preface this because like I've been listening to podcasts sometimes to kind of get like a vibe, right? So I started listening to it, and Bill Burr he had on some other comedians, and they started talking about the NBA, and I kid you not, for 10 straight minutes, Bill Burr was just mad, yelling at his buddy about the NBA, and he was like, "Why are you yelling at?" I kind of agree with you. What the fuck? And Bill's just like, "Oh fuck yeah, it's bullshit. You fucking know you got all these guys now. They're just making a dream team." He's just yelling, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna give this podcast one more try because whatever the fuck this is not for me. Like,
That's
just
hilarious.
Next podcast, next episode, and that episode was I don't know how I got to it, but they filmed it during 2020 and they were talking about the lockdown and shit. But Bert was in I think Slovenia or Serbia filming a movie. Because of his whole "I'm the Machine" thing, he's like a Slavic fucking hero over there. So he's doing movies and shit over there with them, which is tight. And they were just talking about like success and like how you should go about doing movies, but just also how you should go about being comfortable with the level of success that you have. And I was like, okay, this is interesting, and I'm here for this. And not once did Bill Burr just got mad at the other one, bro. Was just yelling for 10 straight minutes.
That's Bill
about
Burr,
the
though.
NBA trade.
I like
And
Bill
was
Burr.
I am confused. Like, who?
I appreciate Bill
mad
Burr
about?
because I feel like he's that random angry voice in my head sometimes, where you're just like, you should keep all of these thoughts inside.
It's like I hate that thing now, and here
I feel like he's my spirit animal.
So yeah, did that. Did some old bus things, and I dropped off some art. I had an art show this weekend. It is erotic art. This art is not, in my opinion, erotic, but it features some nudity, so it's gonna fit with this. And I was kind of bummed. I had like a really stressful weekend, and I was really tired and shit. I had to go visit some family in the hospital and all this and that, and I was just kind of burnt out. And on Monday, I had to go drop off this art, and I was like, man, I don't even feel like doing this fucking art show. I was kind of like meh about it, but I went to go drop it off, and the artist, I didn't know he was the artist who was like curating it, and I dropped it off to him, and I was like, oh shit, like Mike, bro, what are you doing here? And he was like, oh, this is my thing. I was like, I didn't know I got invited by somebody else, and we started chopping it up, and like we're two people that know each other, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't know my name. Like, we known each other for years, but he's just like, oh shit, what's up? Like, we always see each other like at shows and shit, and like he thought John was my brother, like for real, for real. He was like, yeah, man, I heard your brother moved to Florida. And I was like, he's not actually my brother, but we just like talking and shit. And I was like, okay, that's right. I do like being like in art and like in the scene. And he has a couple of studios in this space downtown. He does music out of one of them. And I'm going to see if like he'll let me use it for like a video or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. So it was good. I was kind of depressed and didn't feel like doing shit, but I went out and did it anyway, just to be reminded that I do indeed enjoy doing shit. So
that's good. Nice. There's something I forgot to mention I did over the week.
What'd you do?
So this week, LeBron James became the all-time leading scorer of the whole NBA, and I watched that game. I watched that game, and it was really fucking cool ass moment because I used to hate this guy a lot. Like hate him a lot, like because like as a basketball fan, you know, Lakers and Cleveland and all that stuff. So and Kobe. So I used to hate him a lot when he first came in, but then all the hate I had for him, and then he came to the Lakers, and like he changed his game up. And
you stopped hating him when he joined your team?
Not really. I started appreciating him a little bit more when every time we would like. So a lot of people would poke holes, not just me, but a lot of people in the NBA would poke holes at his game, and then they're like, he would overcome those. And I'm like, oh, cool. So he's evolving, changing his game, and for someone to be able to play for 20 years for at a high level, he did amazing. Like you got to be able to change your game and like adapt. So for him to be the all-time leading scorer, and for me to watch that, because obviously the record has never been broken before. The record was around for 40 years, and has never been broken before. So for me to witness that and see him overcome everything, and everyone knows me on the channel that I probably don't cry a lot or anything like that, but I actually shed a tear when he.
Apparently my mic hasn't been on, but now it is.
Oh,
they would have caught me through yours a little bit, so it's fine.
Okay.
I thought I heard you.
But yeah, it was. I shed a little tear. I was like, damn. I was like, I can't believe I got a little choking up about this, but.
That's kind of weird. Of all the things that I've seen,
bro. But because like he
fits for Pat.
It was like he became like the number one scorer like of all time. Me seeing it, and then like Kareem passing him the ball. It was and for him to share the whole moment with his family, because like one thing you could tell about LeBron James is like he is a good dude, like a good family man. As soon as he hit the bucket, he wanted to celebrate, but he did not celebrate until he had his two sons, his wife, and he pushed people around, like not literally push people around, but make sure his young daughter got onto the court, and that's when he let go, and that's when he was able to celebrate. That just shows you that he truly cares about his family.
You know what he's not good at? Acting.
I don't know. Go watch House.
Roast it, huh?
Go watch House Party.
He's in a new House Party?
Yeah, this is his movie. He that's his his studio made that movie.
I'm scared.
And we should watch it. Next, you know how we do a weekly movie thing? Let's do that. Let's do that.
Well, here's what's gonna happen.
Compared to the old House Party?
About to say, listen,
you gotta watch the old House
Party.
We'd have to watch the old House Party.
I love the old House Party. That was my shit. That was my shit.
If we do that, it's gonna be a double feature. Like, there's no way we were talking about both movies in one podcast.
Let's do it.
We'll save that. All right, bet. Yo, what up, Brex here? What up, everybody piling in? So, there's a couple of shows that we're watching now that we got to watch for the first time this week that we kind of want to gush about. Evan G. Lion.
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
We're watching Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Pat, it's baller, man. It's fucking giant robots fighting giant monsters, and it's awesome.
You might fuck with it.
The animation's crazy looking, bro.
Still, right?
Huh?
No, there's a little bit of computer work in there.
Yeah, a little bit of computer work, but a lot of hand drawn shit, man. It looks wild. Here, just let me show you what the main giant robot looks like. What was that even called?
Are these like Transformers?
It was just 02, right?
Oh,
I saw Eva Mendes pop up for a second, and now she fine.
Oh, there it is. Look, bro, they're running around in these things, man. This thing's fucking terrifying, bro. It's like
a Transformer.
It's like the size of a building. All right, pops out, just fighting.
Like, gra, 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 bra, bra, bra.
Oh, shit's crazy,
For
bro.
my people.
So yeah, Evangelion's fucking wild. We're only 3 episodes in, and
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of fighting yet.
kind of feeling it a lot. Just the tone, the vibe, the look. It's it reminds me of Bebop. But here's the thing: is that Bebop's got a lot of style. And then like some substance, and it's a good substance, and Bebop's one of my favorites, so I'm not shitting on it, right? That's like, it's a part of the experience, right? But this one seems like it's got a lot of style, kind of bringing a lot of substance already.
Yeah.
This dude, his dad, he invented some of the fighting machines, and he gets his son to come out, and the son's like, I don't know, how old is this kid? 15, yeah, and he's just like, hey, day one, he's like, get in that giant robot, go fight that alien for me, bro. And the kid's like, what? I don't know. He's like, come on, man, just go. Just go
And like
do
they
it.
say, he hasn't seen his dad in X amount
15
of
years. Like, by that 15, like 12 years or something like that?
It's been a while. Or it might, he might be a little older. Maybe he hadn't seen his dad in 15 years.
Yeah.
Like,
So how are robots able to reproduce?
No. Like, we don't know how they built these robots yet. We don't know anything about them.
yeah, but we do know that giant robots that kind of look like them, called angels, are coming and attacking every once in a while. So random kaiju fights.
Blowing shit up.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's so.
These motherfuckers bopped a nuke.
Yeah, right? He steps on a nuke and he's just like, give me about 5 minutes. I'll be ready to go again.
Yeah, it was a problem.
All right, and the other show that we're watching is You. Pat, how are you feeling about You so far? Hold on, Spider, are you watching You?
Not with you guys.
But you're watching it. Okay,
Yeah.
so where are you at right now? So we don't
I'm 2 episodes in.
Okay, we think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
We're 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
We won't talk about the third one.
Yeah, The You is great. It's one of my favorite shows that we were reacting to. I love it because I love Toxic Joe, and we it's popcorn eating time, and it's good drama, and like this show is meant for you to love Toxic Joe. It's like you're supposed to root for him. It's meant for you to root for him. So like, it's like this is like shows like you're meant to root for the bad guys. So that's why I like it, and I'm kind of disappointed in this season because it is not as hard hitting for me. It hasn't like got me into it as the last seasons. I feel like the last seasons, like within the second or third episodes, like, damn, all right, I'm in. Next episode. But this one, bro, it's maybe slowed down, or I really do think it's the B characters, your side characters that he hasn't murdered yet.
It's just implicitly easy. He's got to kill them all.
Yeah, real shit. I actually gotta feel that so far.
The side characters haven't grabbed me. Like none of them have done a good. They haven't done a good acting job, or they haven't been written well. They haven't got me.
I think it's the writing. The acting's always really good in You because these people are supposed to kind of play people you're supposed to hate. They're all Angelica, and they do it to a T. Like every character is Angelica. And real quick, I just want to say, we're reading comments. Puvy. Sorry, Puffy's been asking for Gurren Lagann for 7 years. Puffy, Gurren Lagann's going to happen. I'm going to watch it at least. We are going to watch the movies to finish, and it is going to start after Cyberpunk. And no, we do not have Akira on Blu-ray yet. Also,
we watched Akira. Though.
We did watch Akira, but I'd watch it again on Blu-ray. I'd watch the movie 100 times. The other thing, too, is that You is going to be binged and then coming out. So keep an eye out because a lot of You's about to be falling out.
Nice.
It was some side characters haven't got to me. I feel like the side characters in the past seasons have really got to me. You got your 40s, you got your Delilahs,
You love.
like all these side characters got you. Like that you I don't know. You were invested in them. I'm not invested in any side characters at all.
I'm not into the mystery part. I don't know why. So here's the thing. I guess this is what I want from You. I want to see Joe Pay. I want to see him get ripped apart by wild dogs in an alley. You know?
I can feel that.
Yeah, and so, it's like with spoilers for Game of Thrones. With Joffrey's death, it wasn't satisfying enough for me because I hated Joffrey so much. And like I dislike Joe so much that him being tortured by his own mystery is fine, but like I really want it to pay off. I want to feel like I'm seeing him get his comeuppance. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I want him to pay. And right now it's kind of cat and mousey, kind of tortury, playing with his emotions. I want to see him pay.
I think he is pain. I think he's got to suffer through it because I like watching how his brain works. That's why I love, like, specifically when you get to hear him talking.
It's a whole inner monologue.
Right. And I love how it's a different voice. Like, it's just a lower, calm tone of voice, and then you hear him speaking. I'm just like, yeah, that's how
he's like, yeah, everything's fine. And he's like, I'm going to fucking kill him. Well, there's one part you haven't got to it yet, probably, but he sends a text message to somebody, and he lets the real Joe fly for like 10 seconds. He's like, no, delete. She's like, oh God. He's like, nope, don't, can't send that. And it's like, Joe, bro, you're fucking crazy, my guy.
Yeah, let's see how he does that shit. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I hope this is not his redemption arc, because if it is, then that means the show's going to end this season. I kind of want more of a toxic Joe, so
you guys
give me 10 years of him, you know?
You have anyone that you think it is?
Yes,
but I don't want to say anything because it may fuck you up in the third season. Because, like,
who do you think it is?
Yeah, who do you think it is?
I think it's Marianne.
Oh, yeah.
See, I think that'd be interesting, but they did that already with Love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Marianne doesn't strike the person for me. Someone's gonna be able to cut somebody's finger off.
It's one of all right. So in the movie, give me 10 seconds for this diatribe here. In the movie Teeth, this girl has teeth in her vagina, and because of that. Yeah, she has teeth in her vagina, but for the movie to work, almost every man she meets has to be a rapist, right? So in Joe's a serial killer, and what? So almost every other woman he falls in love with also has to be a serial killer?
Hey, I mean, that's the shoe fit.
Yeah.
So that's that's like, I feel Marianne would be interesting. The person who I think it is the person who I think it is. If you guys watch the reactions, you'll know, but I don't want to tell Spidey. Because I feel like if you think it's that person, it's really easy to see it being that person. But it still might not be that person. I don't know. It's a mystery. I'm just hoping that it's a satisfying mystery. Regardless, at least for like the kind of the oh yeah, Breck there's seen Teeth. Everyone's seen Teeth. It's not a great movie, but it's fun.
It'll go on. I do enjoy that, watching Joe figure stuff out like that. Like,
I did too.
Now he has to backtrack and find who this person is. Instead of like already knowing who they are and following them, he has to go and find them first.
Yeah. And like with proper mysteries, every time you think it's somebody, it's like suddenly not.
Have you ever watched Dexter?
No.
I think you like Dexter.
Dexter.
You were like, yeah, you definitely like
Dexter. And that's what also I don't want it to be getting into Dexter vibes because it's already kind of skirting around that. So, AMC.
What about AMC?
They're charging premium ticket prices.
How much is it?
It's more. So your regular seats, your regular seat in the middle is going to cost. We're estimating here. Let's say your regular seat's $15, right, in the middle row. Closer to the screen would be like $12.
Oh, so they're going to lower prices at the same time.
And my bad. And hold on, where are the premium seats at? No, premium seats are in the middle. So So let's say the back of the theater is $15, middle is $20,
okay,
and the front row is $10.
And is it the front row seats less than the normal ticket price usually?
Yeah.
See, then they're offering a discount at the same time.
Now here's the thing. Who the fuck is going to enforce that? Like who? Because if
no one's going to enforce it.
If I'm a teenager, I'm paying for the $10 seats.
And go back
I'm sitting in the nice seats. And when you come to confront me, it's going to be an issue. No, I'm not moving. I'm watching Bad Boys 4. Nah. I got my ticket. Fuck you. Yeah, I got my ticket. It's in my pocket somewhere. What are you gonna do? You can call the fucking police and tell me like. And then if I'm an employee, I'm just like, I don't care. I'm not at.
I will tell you this.
We had a system that worked, and now we're adding extra steps.
I don't think it's gonna work. I think the only way that system's gonna work is at the places where you eat and drink at the same time, like Flick's Blue House.
Yeah,
that would work there. But like if you're talking about it right here, 96th Street, Galaxy, that shit ain't gonna work because there's kids that's sneaking into movies all the time. Nobody enforcing that shit.
I just want you to think that you're a teenager, and if I'm a teenager, the only thing you told me is that all tickets are $10.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I agree. I definitely agree with you.
Or even if you just wait a little longer and wait until the theater's a little more empty. If you just look and you see that
no one sat there,
are empty, like
which is a thing that I've done as an adult because it's like I'm not about if the movie didn't get filled up and like I got one of those seats and like no one's moving, I'm just gonna fucking move. Like
no.
What are you going to do?
And also, like, people. I mean, that it's not even a big deal. Like people do that like when they go to like football games. You get like the really high seats and no one's down there. You just go down there. Like shit. No one's gonna be there anyway. So.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those things where like with like Netflix like changing its passwords where maybe it was a good idea on paper. We're gonna see how it actually works in real life.
Yeah,
It's not. Unless if they're gonna have police at the fucking theaters and really enforcing this shit,
Yep.
nothing's gonna happen.
All right. So that was a little quick one because we're kind of moving through. I think
the next one's my.
Oh no! Hold on. Before we jump to your topic, there's a thing I wanted to show you
you wanna show
to
me
see if I
something.
can get you guys' opinion on it real quick. Hold on, I have to connect my Bluetooth.
you know what's funny?
What?
I didn't even look at the topics today.
Ooh.
So he was ready. All right, hold on. Let me see if this Bluetooth's working.
My fellow Americans.
Oh, okay, here it is. So, guys on the podcast, you'll be able to hear it. You won't be able to see it. Check this out. Have you guys seen this? Listen.
No, it's 2 million views. Goddamn.
All right, just listen.
My fellow Americans. Capitalism is exploitation. I mean it.
He's not even happy about it. Is this real? Or is this staged?
It's a deep fake.
So like what?
So
not even-
the whole capitalism exploitation is a thing I doubt we'll ever hear an American president say. I think they'd be murdered on sight. Just our country runs on exploitation.
That's a deep fake.
So I don't. It's like so. What they're doing is they're using his voice essentially against him, like from
But
this
his
like
face is
far away.
mannerism.
But like, so what if he just said, "We don't know which part of the speech this is. I don't know which part of it is deep fake, but it is a fake." So it could be.
I thought the whole speech
So
was
it could be the part where he says capitalism from afar, right? Maybe they took a different clip of him saying capitalism and like used the robot to make it sound like it's in a situation. And then when he says exploitation, he could have been saying anything is exploitation, or he could have been saying exploitation for any reason. So like,
Fellow Americans.
it's super slick. You wouldn't notice, right?
Capitalism is exploitation.
And it cuts all these reaction shots. Who knows what the fuck? Is this Schumer? I don't know who this motherfucker is. Who knows the fuck this motherfucker's clapping for? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
slick. Absolutely slick. This shit is dangerous, son.
Yeah.
Like, boys are just cooking up deep fakes that are like, if I'd have, I'd be like, oh, wow, that's it.
But who do you think is cooking up these defects? Do you think it's a politician's part?
No.
Or is
So,
it like
I mean,
normal
it's
people?
like, in my opinion, it's like 4chan ass motherfuckers. It's not just malicious people, but people being like, I can do it, so why wouldn't I do it?
Well,
It's like someone else is going to do it, so I might as well do it first. You know what I mean? Like,
They're gonna
just being
build
like, the
Jurassic
technology exists, it can be done. We're going to turn on the YouTube one day, and there's going to be a reaction channel of us watching something we've never watched before, and I'll just be like,
that is too scary because let's just say there's someone does a deep fake.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say like third world countries, but they're like they probably don't have the technologies that we do have. That we could probably like look around, go to Twitter and see this is fake or not. But this deepfake goes out there, and someone in another country gets this. This could start wars. Like somebody can easily start a war over like a deepfake.
yeah. Well,
Like they could drop a bomb over a deepfake.
well, here's the thing, and this is probably should be on every country's list of things to do. We know the technology exists, so you want to be a little hesitant with, you know what I mean? We get there. I think, I'm not going to say every country, but a lot of countries have the technology to tell if there's a bomb in the air at the moment, right? So like you want to be chill. You want to vet your shit. We almost blew up. World War III was almost started in the 80s, I think it was, because there was a Russian nuclear submarine that had some shit was wrong with it. And the codes were going off saying that like the US launched its nukes. And so it was literally up to one motherfucker. I need to remember this guy's name. I remember by the end of the podcast because he's a hero. He literally saved the whole entire world. And he was like, that doesn't seem right. And so he waited before he pulled the trigger. And then he got the like feedback and was like, hey, the instruments are wrong. Like everything's fine. The world, the whole entire world, the whole entire world. So like, yeah, seeing that shit is just like, man, I don't know what we're going to do. Like when we have kids, they're going to be like, how are we going to tell them what's true and what's not?
No, yeah, shit.
Yeah,
Your kids gonna deepfake you to get out of classes and shit.
it's too easy now to find any side of an argument, like any argument, which is really kind of fucked up if you think about it. But you can find any side of it. Like flat Earth is still a thing. People still think the Earth is flat, and I can't prove them wrong because I don't care enough to do the research.
Stanislav Petrov, you're a real hero, G. I know you're probably dead, but shouts out to you, my guy. Stanislav Petrov, bro.
What do you do?
He
Who
didn't turn the key. He's a Russian nuclear guy. He waited. My guy waited.
He said, "Yo,
He was like,
we gonna end it all.
If we're gonna end the world, maybe I can wait 10 minutes.
Right, we gonna end all of it.
Maybe.
Let me be certain.
I know Russia is currently fucking up right now, screwing the pooch, as you will, but
They had a good time.
They actually saved the
one
world.
time it was just
They
like
had a good run.
They actually saved the world. That no,
like this one guy saved the whole, literally all of us. He should have a day.
Yeah, he should.
But yeah, man, I don't know what we're going to do. Here's my idea. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start marketing porno reactions.
Huh.
Okay, I'm going to deep fake my face onto someone else's body who reacts to porn, and me and that guy will split the money.
Huh.
There it is. That's my plan.
I can't see. I got no way to argue him out of this. Like, I just don't think it's. I don't know. It's probably a great idea.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's actually
like,
just me doing it. I'm like, that's not my body. I deep fake. That's someone. I just paid that guy.
Those aren't my tattoos.
No, you can deep fake the tattoos right on.
Yeah,
You can't?
I mean, I literally assume so. This is wild. It's actually just me doing it. I'm like, that's not my deep fake. I don't know what the world is going to become, but like we have a new technology out that's like
This deepfake and Chat GPT scared the shit out of me, bro.
yeah.
What's
I fuck with
Chat-
Chat GPT.
Chat-
What's Chat GPT?
Bro, it's this AI can literally do anything for you, and it literally is costing Google billions of dollars. Google
Wait, what
also,
do you mean it can do?
So
anything?
what you can do is this is what I used it for. I was a couple of days ago. I was like, oh, let me see if I can get Chat GPT to write me a song, and it wrote me a really cringy song. But then like if you're like, okay, like refine this part. Right, refine this part. Not just refine. Tell it exactly what you want. Like, in the fourth line, I would like it if it had internal rhyme scheme, and in this line, I would like it if you use more imagery about mountains or something like that.
Or you
right?
could even
you keep doing that and defining and defining and defining, and by the end of it, you'll have a pretty good song. You could also get it to solve math problems for you. You could also get it to write papers for you. You could also get it to write code for you.
So it's pre-Jarvis. We're just not.
Yeah.
And
What
like,
you
and-
mean you don't like it?
No,
That shit
I
don't
like
be
it.
Jarvis.
Look, but the thing is now, because like yesterday I was on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And someone, so
I love this because I think I know what you're gonna say. We're gonna talk about it. Keep going. Now.
yeah, so I was on Instagram yesterday, right? And someone wrote a sick song. Like the beat was dope. I was like, holy shit, this is dope. And then the guy's like, it says no more ask you the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wrote a song. And then he's like, I wanted to hear Eminem's, like, I want Eminem to, like, have Eminem's mannerism, all right? He wrote a song having Eminem's mannerism, but Eminem didn't even write that song.
Yeah.
But
So
it
he wrote
sounds
us on that. Yeah, but here's the thing: a person can do that as well.
Yeah.
If a person is like, I want to write a song that sounds
But-
like Eminem, you listen to a bunch of Eminem, you get it down, you write it. I know that Chat GPT can cut out the middleman, but it's already a possibility.
Yeah, but it was a banger.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, not surprisingly, it's AI. It's gonna-
But it's also people just going Chat GPT besides Google to like, it's because now that's the new search tool essentially, or like to get shit done for you. And Google's just losing a whole bunch of money. And Google came out their own version, and they actually demoed it, I think yesterday or day before, and live. And the solution came out wrong. So since the solution came out wrong, they lost a whole bunch of money in the market, bro.
Damn.
I think it's got bored or something like that.
Chat
Something like that.
GPT is all right. I think it's fun to like mess with. I think it's fun to help you write songs. This guy was doing one where he was asking it to write a jazz song for him, and it shit the bed a bunch on that too. There's some things. It's getting better, and eventually it's going to be better. Eventually it's going to be. Here's where I do think that these things are going to put people out of jobs. One, y'all aren't buying art from artists. Period. It's just, let's be for real. And by y'all, I mean all of us. I buy a little bit of art from artists every year. I maybe spend $1,000 maybe on art from actual artists, and then songs like we all pay for Jay-Z songs or who the fuck ever, Beyonce songs, Taylor Swift songs. We're all paying for that, but you're not paying for local artist songs, right? I mean, I think a lot of people. I go to local shows when I can. They're fat sometimes they're not. People aren't already paying for art, so a lot of people being upset about this already aren't paying for art.
I agree with you.
So the thing is going to put people out of is like, let's say I start a business and let's say I want art for that business. I'm just going to use an AI.
Yep.
That is going to happen. But also, most of those people weren't paying artists to begin with.
Yeah,
and
I
sure,
think
they would have paid an actual human artist to do it, which would have been good. But maybe in the future, you'll pay somebody to write the prompts for you the proper way or something like that. If someone will get really good at it, I don't want it to happen, but it's inevitable.
I feel like people are gonna want natural stuff still, to the point where you'll have to at least like separate like AI art and natural.
You can't tell the difference, bro. I told an AR to create me something, and I just had to put keywords in, and it created what I wanted.
But I would.
you can tell, like, you know, brush strokes or something like that. Like, if it's,
it's kind of getting good at faking that shit. Yeah. But that's what I'm. Yeah, like you would. So that's the thing that I'm saying is that, like, so let's say you do want to pay for real person art, right?
I could just print it off.
Yeah, but even still, like, if I'm like, hey, I want to pay Spidey for some art over this AI. Let's say the AI costs me $10, Spidey costs me $100.
Yeah,
I can do that because I'm like, I want to support a human. How many people can do that? How many people can keep doing that? Once it's convenient and cheap, it's going to be the option.
Yep, 100%.
And then I don't know. You'll have to go to art shows. You'll have to actually seek out real art. It's coming. But people also buy books now because they prefer it. People spend time on handwritten letters now because they prefer it. People buy vinyl because of it. I don't think that actual real art made by humans is going to go away. I think the commodification of art is going to be easier for people just to be like, click button, make art.
Yeah.
Which is scary because I make art and I don't know what I'll like. My ideas, I don't know. I'll have to do more mushrooms, I guess, to fucking unlock crazy ass ideas.
It's going down.
What are we gonna do? All right.
Is it my topic next?
Yeah, Pat wants to talk about the Superb Owl.
Yeah, I guess it was Super Bowl week. It's
Superb Owl.
Superb Owl? No.
It's a Superb Owl.
No, it's not. It's Super Bowl. You're in America. Get it right. All right. So it's Super Bowl. We got I was about to say San Francisco. We got the Philadelphia Eagles and we got the Kansas City Chiefs playing this Sunday. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I just want to ask you guys, who's going to win? Who do you think is going to win? And what's your guys' favorite Super Bowl snack? Or then if you guys have any Super Bowl jinx, like superstitious or traditions that you guys do.
I genuinely don't watch sports a lot. So I don't even know who's playing in the Super Bowl, but I do know
the Chiefs and the Eagles, man.
What? My dad was a Chiefs fan growing up, so I guess I'm going for the Chiefs.
All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. What's your favorite? Do you not eat in the Super Bowl? You don't eat snacks or shit like that? What do you
mainly
not,
like
you not cook up anything?
Nachos and cheese dip, or like barbecue. Someone's always barbecue. Mac and cheese be a hitter. Like, I like all the food.
All the food.
Yeah, food.
All right.
You really stuck my man over here. All right, I would usually answer like Spidey, but I think I might be able to do a little better. I'm going to go for the Eagles because one of my favorite bars in town is a Philadelphia bar.
Which one?
I'm not telling you. I'm not telling the internet. I'll tell you later. I want people from the internet showing up to my favorite bar. It's not my favorite bar. It's one of my favorites. You have to find it. So that... And one of my favorite foods is buffalo chicken dip. It's always good and bad for you.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I can't stop eating it. I would have said wings. Wings is an obvious one. But buffalo chicken dip feels like someone always makes one. And it's just like, Jesus, this shit is trash. I shouldn't eat this. And then you eat it all. And you're like, oh, God.
Why did I do
I'm a fucking pig. And rituals, I watch all the commercials.
You watch all the commercials?
Commercials in halftime. That's what dead serious. The commercials, I hear the commercials are going to be weird this year.
Why?
I think a lot of companies are going in on commercials together.
Okay.
So it's going to be like joint commercials.
That's because it got too expensive?
Probably, yeah. And there was also one of my favorite episodes of Pinky and the Brain dealt with them doing something to the sewers, harnessing all the power of the sewers at halftime, right when everyone went to go pee. Because everyone in the like Western Hemisphere is peeing all at the same time. And so they like harnessed the power of the sewers to do something silly. And I remember that really well.
That's actually good.
That's solid. Yeah, I do the same with the commercials. But now it's to the point where you can, as like soon as the Super Bowl's over, it's on YouTube. You can just see all of the perfect commercials. And it's like,
why you didn't watch the game?
Yeah, why even like...
Yeah, you get the halftime show. Who's halftime this year? Is Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Yeah.
That's going to be fucking sick.
That's going to be sick. For me, I love the Super Bowl. It's a big thing for me. I didn't know who I was going to root for. I usually don't know who I'm going to root for until like the day before, because I go through the whole Super Bowl week interviews and try to figure out who I want to root for.
Okay.
Right now, I came down to who I'm going to root for, and it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs too, because I want to see them win one more time, and then never ever want to see them make the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, they got Post Malone on the team.
Yeah, they got Pat Mahomes. He's been winning too much. He's been winning too much, and I want him to win one more time. And then the next 5-10 years, I don't want to see him in the Super Bowl again. Let me see somebody else. This is his last time.
The same about Tom Brady when you saw him there every other year?
Yeah, that's the same thing about Tom Brady, but that motherfucker always showed up. But my Super Bowl superstition is if the Colts are playing, or one of my other favorite teams are playing,
BRB.
I will literally play a game of Madden, mimicate the whole Super Bowl thing beforehand, and then I will cook. All right, and if I lost that game, then what I need to do is I need to play the game 3 more times, and I have to make sure I win it 2 out of 3, and then hopefully by that time my whatever I put in the oven is done and everything's ready to go, and then that's my superstition. But my favorite thing is the food. I love to cook. I don't really cook.
So you do the Madden AI like simulated games?
No, I play.
Oh, you just play.
But I play on like. I sometimes I usually win, but there's one time I lost and I had to do the whole 2 out of 3 thing.
Does it work?
No.
Damn.
It does not work at all, but I still do it. I don't know why, but I still do it. But as far as food wise, I go all out. Like all the snacking is it's all on the table. We got nachos, we got chili going, we got the wings. Buffalo, I've never made a buffalo dip, but I'm not into buffalo dip like that.
Well, I'm about to say make one. It's super easy.
Yeah,
you just got to get one of those chickens. You get one of those roasted chickens already from Kroger, and you can just rip it apart really easy, and then that's your base for the chicken dip already. So
what's the sauce?
I think it's like buffalo ranch, something else.
Cream cheese or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's look, it's super easy to make. That's why everybody makes it. You make it in a crock pot. I might make some. I don't even give a fuck. I might just do it. NBA.
Yes, and actually, I don't know. They can't see the internet can't see this, but when I told Chris I want to talk about the NBA for a little bit, this man wrote down MBA trades. I don't know what MBA trades are.
Master Business Associate.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
that. But actually, NBA trade. Yeah.
Hold on, where do you watch the game at usually, Pat? You usually watch at home?
At home, it depends who's playing. If I'm watching the Colts, I'm probably watching with a whole bunch of people. If it's just like some games, and I don't have that many friends that watch the Super Bowl, so I watch it by myself.
I used to have a buddy. He moved, but he used to write sports statistics for the Indy Star.
Oh shit!
And so he would always have this big Super Bowl party. And by big, I mean it'd just be like a fuck ton of craft beer, a shit ton of weed, and like really good food. Nice. And I was always watching there, and I loved that. And then he moved, and I was like, damn man, what do you want to do now? I also happened to see him. He was at Dameron's wedding for, and it was the first game of the season, bro. All he was doing, he was literally like getting ready and like watching football, and he was the type of motherfucker to just be talking to himself too. Just like, oh, God damn it, fuck.
I'm like
he
that
was
too.
in that shit. I'm like, bro, like off in a whole different world. Like commercials come on, he's back alive for a second. Comes back on, he's just like, oh fuck, shit.
Back in it.
I'm like, bro, you're in it. It's wild. I love it.
At least he's his voice is slower. My ass, I'm just yelling.
Yeah.
I'm in and I'm yelling. I'm in the zone. I don't even realize I'm yelling. I'll be waking up my mom when I'm like, watching the Laker game and sometimes.
Oh,
I sincerely wish I felt that way about things.
Right.
You guys do react when you go watch anime.
I like a good.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I like a good. There's so much anime though.
Yeah,
you're like if sports are on, you're into it. Like even with music, if I gotta, it's certain music. You know what I mean? I think all the things I'm into are there's so many of them that it's hard to feel that way about all of them all the time. I would burn out.
I think I think it's just because you don't like sports, but I feel like if you like any sport, if you just like competition in general, you can easily get into it because like with competition, you want to pick one person to root for, so then you're rooting for that person. So
yeah, I like a good soccer game.
You're invested.
That's crazy because you know what? I do love competition shows. Like we look for competitive shows to watch, but like sports just don't do it for some reason.
What competition shows you watch?
We just finished. Well, no, not finished because it's not done yet. But Physical 100 is a really good one on Netflix.
Oh,
right
Spencer told me to watch that.
Bro, that shit slaps.
Yeah.
Like even like right before we're like, all right, let's
is this
go to the
scripted?
gym. Huh?
Is this scripted?
No, but it's all in Korean, so like the dub sounds scripted to me.
Yeah,
but like watching it,
they're reading a script.
Right, exactly. So like, yeah, do I watch it? I watch it with subtitles. And yeah, that's just crazy. Like,
nice. All right.
I'm going to check that out this weekend.
Yeah. I might have to too. It sounds fun. But tell me about the NBA.
Yeah, the NBA.
This is what Bill Burr was yelling about.
Yeah, so this what happened in the NBA. A whole bunch of shit happened yesterday.
Tell us.
The whole league changed. We had Kevin Durant, one of the mega big stars, got traded to the Suns. And then the Lakers did a
huge... where are the Suns out of?
Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
That went Kyrie from the East also went to the
Kyrie
West.
Played for the Nets.
For the Nets, yeah, both Kevin Durant and Kyrie both played for the Nets.
Okay, so they took two Nets players
and they traded them into the West Coast. So then Kyrie went to Dallas, Mavericks. CJ's whole team, Siege loves him right now.
Nice.
And then
Kyrie, good at basketball.
Very
bad
good
at
at
hot takes.
Very good at basketball.
No more hot takes, sir.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, but yeah, he's bad at hot takes, but he's very good at basketball. Durant, he's up in Phoenix. Now they got a powerhouse. The whole West is competitive now. And if you like basketball, this is a time to get into basketball because it is wide open. Like usually in the past, you only have like 2 or 3 good teams and they just dominate everybody. Right now, the Western Conference, and anybody could win essentially.
Okay.
Out of like the 4 or 5 teams in the West, like there's good if you like competition, there's good competition. If you just like good pure basketball to just watch games because all the players are fully spread out, it's a good time to watch games right now too as well.
I think I'm gonna have to get into sports to bond with my family.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'll do it.
You know, honestly, that's how I got into sports was because of my uncle. Like I wasn't into sports when I came to the States. I didn't know anything about football or basketball. But my uncle was the one. Like the only time I get to hang out with him was like watching those things, and then he was slowly taught me the shit. So
you want to know why I fucks with soccer over the other sports?
why?
Pretty reliable runtime.
What do you mean? It's more. It's a long ass match.
It's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You get 40.
But then you also get extra time.
And even when you do get extra time, it's not that much extra. It's like 5 minutes and shit.
But
I have worked. I used to be a sports announcer. Fun fact: I used to be a sports announcer at the Colts Grill downtown. Terrible. I didn't know shit about sports, but I knew how to announce. I knew how to read shit. And there was multiple times during the Final Four, multiple times, and during football season, multiple times when I had shit to do after work and we were in 4 overtimes. And I was like, I'm just never going to plan anything ever again.
Quadruple
Plus the
overtime.
whole point at the end of a football game, when the whole point is to move as slow as possible and run out the clock, hate it. Let me tell you, if you're supposed to work from 7 to 9 and you set up a date at 10, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And no one's going on a date at 11. So like, I would just be like, and then when I started doing the soccer games, I was like, oh, these end at a pretty consistently.
because they don't have that many timeouts.
Even and guess what? I'm kind of here to play the game. Fuck the strategy.
Right.
Play the fucking game. Clock's running. Good. Play the game.
For real, you know, that's the whole point. Because like, basketball is only 48 minutes. If you realize it's 12 minutes for so like it's just
I'm
because
not
of
into
timeout.
most of the
You
games.
gotta get into strategy.
I'm not into most of the games for the strategy. I'm in the game unless the strategy is how you're playing. And I understand that you're going to use your timeouts to. This is a person who doesn't know sports, so don't get up my ass about this. I understand that you're going to use your timeouts to effectively play them how you need to win, right? And people flop in soccer, and that's kind of the timeout thing, and it's annoying, but like still moving. And that's all I want. I just want the game to keep moving. Like, fuck the huddle, fuck talking, fuck all, just go. Just, I came here to watch, go. And then also, if you go to a soccer game in Indy, you can yell at professional athletes, like, personally, for, like, $15. And I love that.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, just to be like, fuck you! You're right, number 11! You a bitch and you know it! Like, you can, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that at the Pacers game too.
It depends, but every Indy 11 game is only like $15 for the fan section.
Honestly,
Plus all the cheering and shit. It's fun. I think I really get wrapped up in that because it's like there's a bunch of songs to sing where you taunt people. There's a bunch of cheering. There's smoke grenades, and you get to. And the whole point is to come waste it. You know, I like that.
If you want to watch a wild sport, go to you should watch some Coke Peru.
Coke
They
Peru.
do it in like Kazakhstan and
Yeah.
all this other stuff.
What is that?
It's a horseback kind of game. There's a pit in the middle that's basically the goal, and then there's a ball that you gotta.
So you ride the horses to hit the ball and
Okay, bet. So
do
it's
the
like
horses fight
polo?
each other?
Excuse me. Excuse me. What did you say?
Do the horses fight each other?
That's what I thought you said.
Like, can you?
So like not
do you
really, but
provoke
like
the other?
the horses are like bumping into each other, and like it's pretty shoulder to shoulder kind of aggressive.
Yeah. Probably don't bother the horses
The
much.
ball is the decapitated and dehooved body of a goat. Yeah, that's.
Why the horses? Why would they try to? I would just go after the goat and try to eat that.
Horses don't eat goats. They eat carrots.
That's
I imagine they probably like eat it afterwards because it'd be super tender. But
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Coke Peru. Check it
Coke
out.
Peru.
that's cool. I like one of the strategies I would use. I would just provoke the other horses. I would just hit hit the stick
Oh
with the other.
no,
horse.
you're on the horse.
Yeah, you're riding a horse.
Yeah, I'll be the one riding the
You're
horse.
gonna try to piss off someone else's
Yeah.
horse? And what if they kick the dog fucking wife out of your face?
I'm on the horse.
Yeah,
Horses
but-
kick pretty fucking high.
Yeah.
If they're known for doing one thing, it's lifting a man off the ground with a kick.
Dude, and these horses, like the way they train them, these horses are full on like tackling each other. It's fucking crazy.
That is wild. Horses tackling each other,
bro, and they're getting up. Like,
I want to see this.
All right, I'd watch it. For I wouldn't do it.
We'll watch it after this.
Yeah, I'm down to check that out. That's dope. That's cool.
So here we come. Everyone in the chat, if you watch the movie, please sign off and let us know. This is the Normies Movie Podcast portion where we talk about the movie that we watched this week.
Yeah, do the right thing.
Do the Right Thing, a Spike Lee joint. Let me read off some statistics about this movie. While I'm pulling them up, why don't you guys just tell me what you thought? No big things. Just tell me what you thought about the movie.
No, I need like 2-3 minutes to talk about.
Okay,
this.
well, fuck it. I've already pulled up.
Of layers.
Yeah, that's why I just want 2 to 3 minutes under at the time.
So I'm just going to read a little bit of the synopsis. This is from Wikipedia. For anyone who didn't read it, Do the Right Thing is a 1989 American comedy drama filmed, produced, written, and directed by Spike Lee. He also stars in it. It's got Danny Aiello in it. I'm trying to read off names you guys would know. By you guys, I mean the people watching. John Turturro, Samuel L. Jackson, Martin Lawrence's debut into film. It's got Rosie Perez in it, and Giancarlo Esposito. The story explores a Brooklyn neighborhood simmering with racial tension between its African-American residents and Italian-American pizzeria owners. Not pizzeria, it's a pizzeria. Culminating in a tragedy and violence on a hot summer's day. I want to point out that there's a group of Puerto Rican men and a Korean grocery store owner. Yeah. It's in Bed-Stuy. I've been to Bed-Stuy. Bed-Stuy's fun. Boogie down Bed-Stuy. Let's go.
All right. I just want 2 to 3 minutes, and I'll let you guys.
Yeah. Just give me your overview on what you thought about the movie, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. When I watched this movie, I had no expectations, which I liked it, and I kind of expected that this movie to be obviously to do with some like social injustice or racism because we're doing it and we're doing Black History Month. So I kind of had those expectations, but when I was watching this movie, I was like, "Damn, are we gonna get into that at all?" Because so far it sounds. When I was watching it, so far I was watching like, "Oh, okay." Maybe we're going to watch a movie about how Sal's going to teach his son Pino to overcome his racism. And like, I thought he's going to have that moment in the defining moment in the movie where he's like, "Oh, I'm going to do something, stand up for the neighborhood," and he's going to like overcome his own racism and grow. That's what I thought the movie's going to be going to. I was like, "Oh, damn, this is actually cool." Like that's what I thought the tone in the movie is going to go through. But then the last 10 minutes was totally different.
Kind of kept it real in the last 10 minutes. Kind of kept it real.
And I love the movie because you guys are talking about there's so many layers. First, this was my first Spike Lee movie I've seen.
Let's be clear, and for the culture, it's called a Spike Lee joint.
Spike Lee joint.
That's what Spike Lee calls his movies. They're Spike Lee joints.
I'm going to talk about Spike Lee as a Knicks fan. I don't like him. So that's.
Did you notice the basketball thing that happened in this movie?
Yeah.
Which was it?
Which basketball?
There's a very specific basketball thing that happens in the middle of this movie.
He wore a jersey. That's the only thing I saw.
All right, so Spike Lee wakes up wearing number 23, Michael Jordan jersey. Leaves the house wearing a fucking Jackie Robinson 42 jersey. Yeah. All right, and then later on in the movie, when Giancarlo Esposito's bugging out, gets his fucking Jordan, I don't know what they are. They're not ones. Yeah, but he gets his Jordan stepped on. Who steps on him?
Boston. Oh, Larry Bird.
Larry fucking Bird steps on his J's, all right? And it's a whole entire conversation that jumps into bugging out, being a fucking asshole, jumps into gentrification, and then homie's like, "I was born in Brooklyn." They're like, "Oh!" And they're like, that's where it all ends at. But like, that moment is like a specific, like, if back in the day, apparently, like, if you were in the fucking know, because there was always that rivalry and shit, then it was like, "Oh shit, and Larry Bird, I've seen his house."
And he's from Indiana.
Yep. You can go see that shit in French Lick. Yes, there's a lot of. I just don't like him as a Knicks fan, so like that's the perception I have of him. So like to see him in this, like I had a new respect for him, because his acting wasn't bad, and there's what he did for the '80s with filmmaking, like, was freaking cool. Like, you said some stuff about Indian soap operas that I didn't notice until you said it.
So like he was able to draw like in the show, like there was a scene that when they're going back and forth, like just like they're like saying racist stuff to each other, or like I guess
the one where everyone's saying racist shit to each other.
No, not that part. Not the very last scene, but like in one of the scenes they're like going back, but they're like it's like it was the whole neighborhood. Like, you know, they're so during that when he was doing that, like he was able to create tension in there without them yelling their voices really high, getting the voice level really high, and he was able to, without or having any sort of violence to show, but he was able to create that tension because like it was a very tense moment, and he was able to create that tension with just like how to make it very shaky and like it close, like dramatizing the scene with and to do that in the 80s, like I don't think people had the creativity to manipulate emotions with filmography, like with cinematography like that. So to be able to see that was really cool. And the message, I love the power and hate thing when the guy was talking about power and hate.
Radio Raheem.
Yeah, Radio Raheem, when he's talking about power, like love and hate, and love, like, you know, hate is always going to be the left jab, but the right hook's always going to be the love. That was a really cool analogy, and it's something that's really prevalent now.
So hold on, I want to get Spidey's in before we get to the rest, but you like the movie, right?
I like the movie. I didn't like how the last 10 minutes ended.
I mean, that's what we're gonna talk about that part in depth. Spidey, what about you?
Same. I mean, I definitely love the movie. It was my first time ever watching it. All like every layer to the point where, like, if you've ever actually like just gone through the projects of the hood, like you can see each of these individuals, like the three old dudes on the corner
just sitting there talking shit.
I love that.
I'm never calling another man Sweet Dick Willie. I'm gonna call you Willie. I'll even call you Dick. Not calling you Sweet Dick Willie.
That dude was fucking wild,
bro. It's the dad from House Party.
Yeah.
And then the other guy wasn't.
It was Burrell.
Yeah, I was about to say he was on the wire. Yeah.
But like those three dudes, just homies hanging out like everywhere.
Yeah.
You go to Cuba, that's literally 90% of everyone, and they're all playing fucking chess or dominoes. But what else?
And then I appreciated the aspect of Sal being like telling his son at first, like, yo, you don't understand that black people built this. Like they helped us raise us. Basically, they built.
But he said people like grew up eating his pizza.
Yeah,
he's like, I watch these kids grow up. I've been feeding this neighborhood. He had like sincere neighborhood pride.
Right. So like for him, it was the trying to teach his son, like, your own people didn't, like, that's why we left. Like, your own people weren't supporting. No one was doing anything for us. That's why we came here. So like these people need to be respected. And then it's I like to look at the movie and think, like, if everyone did the right thing, where would this have not happened? Like,
how could we have stopped all of this?
Right. Like, if Sal would have paid him early, like he wanted, would have ended it. The whole movie would have ended differently. He wouldn't have been at work that night.
But those guys would still shut up.
But that's what Sal was saying. That's why Sal was like, I'm not going to pay you now because you won't be here later, which is Mookie being a shit employee.
Right. He should be doing his job properly.
I think, and here's the thing. All right, Bugging Out and Radio Raheem are both being assholes. I love Radio Raheem. I like them. I don't know why. It's carrying the radio around. I kind of fuck with that. They're both being assholes. But like, you can't go into someone's establishment and be an asshole and then also be like, why don't you do this thing I want and boycott them? And Saul, if people are gonna boycott you, be like, whatever. Yeah. Saul, you already said. Look, you said this is one of the best days we had. Yep. People grew up here on my food. So I didn't get to hear what other people were saying about them. But when like the 4 teenagers that Martin Lawrence is like a part of that group, when Bugging Out was like, don't eat this sauce. I was like, man, I'm about to go get some sauce right here. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. The neighborhood's already like, everyone's assholes kind of, but like the neighborhood's already got them. Like Saul could have been like, oh, you're going to boycott me? Whatever. Saul, if you'd have just turned a blind eye to that and not given a fuck, you'd have been fine. The whole shit would have been fine.
Everyone just got tested and they answered with violence,
and like the heat too. The heat's also
the heat. And this what when I was growing up, like what they were using ice cubes to get cool, and like that hit home a lot because like my parents would never let me turn on the AC. They would never let me I hated that shit. I would literally had to sneak in on some AC hours when my parents were off work and then turn that shit back off. But like it was like I always remember how to just take a shower just so I could stay cool. Or like the ice was huge back in the day. So like just those things like they hit home for me a little bit. But like when you're hot and the heat's on you, you're just gonna be a miserable person.
I'm kind of mad.
And
I mean, there's a Boondocks episode about this.
Like when it's a hot day, my whole family's shitty. Like so, it's just gonna make you a shitty person.
Also, we've been corrected. Sal, like Salvaroni or some shit, not Saul. So we're fucking up. We've all been saying Saul. Sal. So
Sal's pizza.
Before we talk about the end, because that's where we're going to like the whole movie. one, I like it that it's not just the black folks or the Puerto Rican folks that are loud. It's also the Italians. The whole thing is, even the Koreans, the whole thing is, if you live in fucking Brooklyn, you're loud. Everyone just fucking loud. Like, Lord have mercy. Y'all gotta stop fucking yelling. Once again, it kind of reminded me of being like back at home, like in Gary, like parts of the neighborhood. Just you go there, it's just loud. Or being in Cuba. Except for motherfuckers aren't yelling at each other, just everyone in Cuba's loud. Like, some kid drags a rake down the street at like 7 a.m. every morning for no reason. It's like, oh, some guy just goes down the street and yells. That's just his thing. He's just like, I'm the yelling motherfucker, so everybody knows that I'm yelling. But like, it had that cool like neighborhood, and everyone was pissed too. And one of the things, I'm sorry, I missed out, because I do want to talk about like respect, because I think one of the things is no one in the neighborhood's really respecting anyone else.
No one respects each other.
Well, yeah.
Except the mayor. The mayor was one of my favorite characters, bro.
Yeah. Before we get to that, I did want to say the song playing throughout the whole entire movie. I want to read some of the first verse. 1989, the number, another summer. Get down, sounds of the funky drummer. It's Fight the Power. But hold on, let's get to other lyrics of Fight the Power. Fuck. Oh, freedom of speech is the freedom of death. Freedom of speech is freedom or death. We got to fight the powers. Fight the power, fight the power. They say fight the power a bunch. But if you listen to the lyrics in the song, a lot of it's kind of just talking about the animosity and talking about fighting the power. And like, that's kind of the theme song of the song, right? And like, at the end of the day, it's going to be about like, who is the power that we should be fighting? And I think the obvious answer would be the police, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. And like, this movie also starts off with playing Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is like the black national anthem. We used to like sing that all the time in the school I went to back in Gary. And like, I think it kind of starts off with those two like cultural songs to be like, lift every voice and sing, like until earth and heaven ring. Like, and it's a good one. I think the end of the song says, we'll march on until victory is won. And then you start with Fight the Power, which is kind of like a more like modern take on that. And then it ends with two quotes about violence, but we'll get to those in a second. So, my bad. I wanted to mention that before we talk about the characters, but this is a good time to talk about the characters.
Do you guys think Sal should have put the pictures in
on the wall?
Yeah.
Should he have caved?
Should he have caved? I think he should have caved, because like, he kept on saying how proud he is to feed the neighborhood, how they grew up on it. This is like, the neighborhood is part of him. Yeah. Like, he kept, so if the neighborhood is part of you, then you should respect the neighborhood and respect their wishes. Otherwise, then like, the neighborhood could easily betray you, because like,
I could see it.
So like, he could.
But Jade, who was talking,
but the way I don't agree the way they went about it. I don't agree.
Yeah.
I don't agree how
Giancarlo
and Raheem.
Gus Fring.
Yeah, like, I understand that he is in a black predominant neighborhood and like whatever, but he also bought that neighborhood. That piece of property inside. Like, if he says no music, then there should be no music. You shouldn't just come in. Like, you should respect that decision.
For sure.
And like, also the wall thing. Yes, it should be on. Like, it should be like, he should represent the whole neighborhood, but it's also his wall.
He also said he'd been there for 25 years, and I think that that's a big thing too. Because he's like, I've been here for 25 years. And it's like, damn, like, I mean, you could. So if he was there for 25 years, he lived through the civil rights movement, right? And if he is aligning himself with the community and feels that, it would be nice to see some civil rights leaders on the wall. I understand that it's your wall of fame, Saul, and you do get to put whoever you want on that. Totally respect that. But like, if there's going to be pushback, you should expect that pushback. Mm-hmm. If I were Saul, if I was in a predominantly... Sal. If I was Sal, all right, let's say if I was Sal and I was in a predominantly Mexican neighborhood and I'd been there for a long time, and like, I'm learning more and more about the culture, then yeah, maybe as I learn about more like influential Mexican people, I might put them up on the wall too. That's just me though, like, because I'm in this neighborhood, I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to be inclusive and shit like that. And I'm not saying Saul's a fucking dickhead for that, he's a dickhead for other shit. But Sal like, he didn't have to give in, right? And Bugging Out needed to realize that too. And like, I ain't bugging out, he's bugging out. Motherfucker's name is Bugging Out. Like, he's obviously always on some shit. I've been like, Sal should know that. I've been like, man, fuck you. Like, whatever. You can be as mad as you want. That don't mean I'm gonna do it. Radio Raheem, you about to come here and blast your boombox? Like, Sal, you don't have to. I know it's a hot day. You don't have to yell and freak out and beat this man's box. I'm like, bro, I'm not feeling
I think where Sal did the line, the yelling, I did not mind the yelling and the cussing. I did not mind that, because Sal told him before, don't do that in this restaurant. Yeah. The only thing I had an issue was when Sal beat his thing up, because that's his property at that point. If anything, what Sal should have done is laid his hands on his boombox and turned it off, not taking the bat and whatever.
I mean, even still, de-escalation is the whole entire thing. But let's just run through some characters real quick. So how did you guys feel about the mayor?
The mayor is the low key the best character of the movie because
you fuck with the mayor.
I fuck with the mayor. The mayor.
All right, doctor, but you gotta remember, do the right thing.
Hey, he gets shitted on so much by the whole neighborhood, but he cares for the whole neighborhood so much. And that story that he talked about, like how like no one knows pain until you have kids and you can't feed your own kids and your wife is looking for you to do something about it and you can't even do about it. That's real pain. Like, and
what'd he do about it though?
He didn't do nothing about it, but we don't know that. Like,
were his 5 kids? I mean,
he might have tried. Like, but we gotta understand. Like, we don't like. He may have not done anything about it, and the movie showed that. But I also thought maybe he did try and he just failed because not everyone is gonna make it, and not everyone whatever they're gonna do is gonna pan out. So I feel like whatever he didn't pan out, and his family just left him, and now he's stuck with the neighborhood to be his family.
Spidey, what you think about the mayor?
I can see that. I fucked with the mayor. He was all right. He's trying to keep the neighborhood together that it seems like he grew up in, kind of a deal. And I think he thinks of himself as that like head honcho kind of walking around town, but he's also just the neighborhood drunk kind of thing. Like, yeah, it was cool. The ending with him and Sister Mother.
Sister Mother.
Them two being the oldest on the block and her like crying, looking at the building. I was like, oh yeah, that makes. Because I was like, why the fuck is she crying? It was like, this is a staple in the community for her, and like they're watching that shit burn down. It's literally watching the neighborhood go up in flames for them. So, yeah, it was a lot. There's a lot of deeper, like when he saved the kid from getting hit by the car. Yeah, and the kid's just like, he pushed me. I was like, man, beat this kid.
Yeah, I did. That kid. I know, because I thought the mom was gonna beat the shit out of the right. I was like, please don't beat the shit out of him. Please don't.
But then also, I'm glad that was resolved.
Yeah.
Well.
I like the mayor. I can see why people don't fuck with him.
Why?
Because he's an old drunk, right? But also, like,
he's old. He's allowed to be a drunk.
I know. Listen, it's the 80s. All right, we're dealing with the fucking crack epidemic. We're dealing with over policing in black neighborhoods. We're dealing with absentee fucking black fathers. All right, how many father figures we see in this movie that was black? One, the mayor. And people kind of got some issue with him, right?
Spike Lee's character was
is also father.
And was he a great one?
Not there for his kid.
Only thing we heard about this motherfucker being, even from his sister, was like, why don't you take care of your responsibilities? You know which responsibility? He ain't seen his kid in a week, and they live in the same fucking neighborhood. That's an issue. All right, and this isn't me pointing fingers. This is me talking about what the movie's talking about.
No, that's fair.
And so, like, I see when the one kid is yelling at the mayor and kind of going off, it feels like he's mad at the mayor on some personal shit, right? Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people taking that shit out on him. There are reasons. Everyone still has to do the right thing. I guess we can look at every single character next if they're doing the right thing or not. Mm-hmm. And like, I fuck with the mayor. He is old. He a grandpa. Let him get drunk. Let him do his thing. But like, for what he represents in the community, I can see why people don't like him for that. Mm-hmm. And for what his own story was. And no point in that story did I hear him trying to lift himself up or saying, I did this, I did that. Like, I tried all this, and that. He just gave out the picture and let you draw your own assumptions. So like, I can see why people don't like the mayor.
Yeah.
He's a kind of a representative, like, and there's plenty of other reasons why black fathers weren't around, especially during that time. And it's like, once again, we're gonna see later on in the fucking movie, but like that shit, all that withstanding, like he's there. I don't know what he could have done to make anything better. I feel like the mayor is possibly the most like fucking neutral good dude. Like he's just trying to do good shit. That's all he's trying to do. Getting his little beer here and there, being a bit of an asshole like everybody's being an asshole towards the Koreans, but just like kind of just generally doing his thing. You know,
was he being an asshole to the Koreans? I don't think.
I mean, everybody was yelling at them about speaking English and shit. And he was like, "Here's America." Yeah. He was like, "I need a fucking highlight." He was like, "You're asking a big thing to make a man change his beer."
That's not being an asshole. I don't think he's being.
Everyone in the movie was.
I think there was a lack of respect. There was a language barrier, and they just couldn't able to communicate, and that was it. Like, it wasn't like.
I found him to be a little disrespectful. I found everyone in the movie to be a little disrespectful. I didn't say it was racist. Instead of being an
fucker.
Yeah.
Damn,
okay.
All right. Man.
But like everybody does that.
No. Everyone in this movie is being disrespectful to each other, being disrespectful towards the neighborhood in general. Even mother and sister were talking shit to the mayor. Mayor ain't done shit but walk down the street in the morning. She was like, "Don't look at me, motherfucker. Fuck you."
Yeah,
she's like, "You remind me of my ex-husband." And I know. So
and my tenant.
The two motherfuckers I don't like. So like, there's a lot of disrespect wholeheartedly, and it's a hot day. But everyone's dealing with
again, hot day makes you disrespect. I'm sorry. Like,
but that disrespect, I mean, it's not just on a hot day everyone's going to change their mood. This is some shit. Like, everyone here has kind of got a bone to pick with everyone else, except for the mayor. The mayor seems pretty cool.
Also the guy, the three people that are always talking gossip.
Talking shit on the corner of my
Also,
boys.
that one dude predicted fucking global warming in the 80s.
I mean, bro, we've been knowing about global warming for a very long time.
I did not know about it until like the 2000s.
It's because people stopped talking about it.
Yeah. But no, all right. So characters, running down. I want to talk about. I was on Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez. So my first time meeting her, like seeing her, was White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah.
She was my first crush. This movie,
I think it was maybe one of her debuts. I had to double check.
the White Man Can't Jump, or this one?
This one.
Okay. Yeah, I think this one might have been her debut, but I think she was great. And I was hoping for her to have more of
a bigger role in it.
Yeah, she didn't have a bigger role because like she was the one dancing in the movie, and I'm like, okay, she's gonna be a star.
This was her film debut. She does do this. She does this one thing in it, wherein because I date someone with a language barrier, that she let the like full on when she was like, stop playing, and he was like, stop playing. And I was like, oh, that's cute as shit. I like that. Like, I think they had a really good rapport together. But yeah, it would have been nice if she had a bigger role in the movie. Because also at the end, man, she wakes up mad. Like, I was like, how you wake up with this kind of energy? Wow. Ready? I'm like, it's 7 a.m. dog. I just got up.
Mookie be testing her though. Like, if you got a kid with a baby, like with the girl, then you gotta see the kid as much as possible. Like, not once a week kind of deal.
We're about to get her out. But yeah, I thought that's what I was gonna. It'd be nice if Rosie Perez had a bigger role. But for her film debut, I think she did really well.
Yeah.
And dancing for 5 straight ass minutes.
I was damn.
Marquette was like, why is she dancing so hard? And I was like, it's a hard movie.
Going in, that's intro.
God damn, slow down.
That show's a workout.
So I don't know if we're about to make love or fight.
I know, that's what I was about to say.
Honestly, that's our whole vibe.
Yeah, Rosie Perez is kind of scary.
Yeah, but even Rosie Perez's mom was just being like, "You little piece of shit." Also, want to say an Azum Pep is a black pepper. It's a little racial slur, a little Italian one.
What's it called?
Azum Pep.
Azum Pep.
So
let's talk about the last 10 minutes because like
I want to talk. I think Mookie's the main character. I want to talk about Mookie last.
Okay.
Do we talk about what do you guys think? Mookie last, or Saul and them now, or Mookie now and Saul and them last?
Saul and them now and Mookie last.
All right, Sal.
So
what do you guys think about? I want to hear from Spidey first. I want Spidey's take. Spidey, what you think about the Sal family?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like I like how Sal had respect for the fact that the black community is what got them to where they are, is like being a successful business. But then the end where you see the little closet racism that he has there, like once he's finally pissed off, he's just dropping hard R's. Just
He's like, at the end of the day, even everybody over there was like, oh, sweet niggas now. Damn,
right.
Sal.
Like, damn, we were there, and everyone was like, yo, we got your back. We had his back. It was like,
yeah, because they loved his pizza.
Now. Like, that's fucked up, Salvador. And you can tell he's not, I don't know what the relationship is with the mother at all, but he's not raising his kids right.
He's not.
Like, they shouldn't. I get the whole trope of like the brothers are gonna fight and boys will be boys, but like your kids shouldn't be fighting over this random dumb shit.
They fight over them, yeah.
One shouldn't be a supreme being racist,
right? He's like, I've been reading, and I was like, what have you been reading, sir?
He's a racist, but most of his icons are black people. Did not make sense.
That is that. You want to talk about some nuance? That moment is fucking chef's kiss.
Yeah, that movie is amazing.
Who's your favorite ball player? Who's your favorite actor?
Yeah, who's your favorite musician?
It's like Prince, and he's like, come on, man. He's like, so what, we niggas now? But like, and he's like, well, then you see him trying to reason,
right?
Yeah.
Like, well, they're not like
John Turturro lays out like a brief moment, a brief peek behind the curtain. He's like, well. Currently listening to us on the back end of the podcast. Fun fact: we record these live, and we have a lot of cool takes and opinions and technical difficulties sometimes. All right, Spidey, what did you feel about the killing of Radio Raheem?
She was unjust. Yeah, that shit's still happening very prominently. It's wild to me to
1989
in the movie. Yeah, like for it to even be that old, for it to be in the movie, I mean, it's also been happening, well before that as well. And we are in 2023, and this just happened again, didn't it? Yeah, so I mean, it's
how long was it happening before we knew it was happening?
Right, like what do we even call it anymore? Like it is sad, but now it's just a thing that is like
it's a norm.
Yeah, what do we do?
Kind of always been one. It feels like we just now get to see it on camera.
All right.
All right.
So
your take.
Yeah, my take. I lost my train of thought now. Fuck.
Well, they killed Radio Raheem.
They killed Radio Raheem. I think it was like I don't know, it was Mookie or the guy in the yellow tank top said it. It was the perfect line. He said they killed him over a radio. That's essentially like the guy died over a radio. Like that's just like it wasn't anything else. That's why he died. Something small as a radio. That's just stupid.
I think in any other neighborhood, that's just a fight.
Yeah.
I think in this neighborhood, that's already at this point that it's more. So we're going to talk about what Mookie did. And I want to know you guys' take on it too. So at the very end, Mookie throws a fucking trash can through the window, kicking off a full-on riot.
Yeah.
For Radio Raheem. Why? Was it the right thing? Did he do the right thing? Thesis of the movie. And why do you think he did it?
Technically, no. But and the whole movie is surrounded by everyone not doing the right thing. And I think you're supposed to look into why everything, most of those things are like circumstance of, where they are, where they're being raised, how they're growing up. I don't think starting a riot is, the best idea most of the time, but also Sal burned every bridge at that point. And then especially someone this whole neighborhood of people that are there to support you, and then you busted up the radio. Who that is, why he has the radio, whatever it is.
Actually, why does he have it? What was this?
Well, that's his thing. Whatever it is, to me, that's probably some sort of a coping mechanism.
Okay.
It's his emotional support dog.
His emotional, emotional support radio.
Right. So to destroy that, it was fucked up, and the whole neighborhood's like, man, that's his shit. You saw when they were messing with the fire hydrant.
Yeah.
And he's walking by, they even calm the water so that he can walk by with his music and not have to worry about getting his radio wet.
He gets into it with the Puerto Ricans to see who has a louder radio. He's a fixture in the community, regardless. Damn. So you don't think he did the right thing?
No.
I also don't think he did the right thing either.
Why do you think he did it? Hold on, Spidey. Why do you think he did it?
It was time. That power had to be fought. Sal's was a staple in the community. All the black people would help.
Oh, I remember the first time I watched it. Yeah, we're about to wrap up. I remember the first time I watched it. I felt real big bad for Saul. Regardless, I still kind of feel bad for him. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard for me to watch it and not feel bad.
I feel bad for Saul.
Still being a piece of fucking shit. He's still racist. That's just me. I have empathy. I can't help it. This is not me saying that he's some fucking pillar of the community. He fucked up. And Mookie throwing this fucking trash can is it's fucked, but also I do think, and I don't know if Mookie did this on purpose, it takes a lot of heat off of Sal. It puts the aggression directly towards the restaurant, which is just a restaurant.
And it actually could save them because they're safe.
Yeah, and even the mayor took him across the street and shit, was just let him in. I understand that Sal is mad, real mad, right? But they're already kind of talking about he was how long are you gonna be in the neighborhood? They even mentioned he was oh well, Donald Trump's gonna put some towers up over here later. That motherfucker is evanescent. He's ever present throughout American history apparently. But yeah, so I get that Sal's mad, right? But they took the pressure off of Sal and his kids, right? So no one's gonna hurt them. They're fine. And Radio Raheem lost his life. Sal lost his property.
Yeah.
And even the news the next day was the mayor is going to get down to what's happening here. They won't let the damage of property stop anything. What about the damage to life?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
If you fuck it, right? If this is a cage, you're going to get mad when people try to tear down the fucking cage. Not that Sal's is a part of it, but it's emblematic of the whole entire thing, right? Now I go kick in a fucking CVS or a Target. Fuck the places, right? And if when riots do happen, things get caught up in it that aren't exactly representating of the problem. But I think that a riot isn't rational. It's not a rational attack is a rational attack.
Right.
A riot is chaos, right? And that chaos comes from somewhere and it builds up and bubbles over. And so did Mookie do the right thing? In my opinion, sure. I have to have the hot ticket there. He did the right thing because if he didn't, Saul and them might have got beat up, and we didn't want that.
I also do think that, babe,
and it's someone's property versus someone's life.
And I think that's what that he created a distraction for that. I also think that what the end when Mookie says at the end of the day you're still gonna get your property tax, your insurance money from this, so it's not a big deal. I understand you put your pride into it. But your money that you lost, you're going to get property, like you said. But Raheem's not going to come back up. He's gone.
That's it. And we don't see Radio Raheem's family. Mm-mm. We don't. There's not about to be press over this. It's not about to be how it is nowadays, where we're about to get lawyers out and try to figure things out and try to do anything. That's it. That's the end of his story, bro. My guy's gone. His family will mourn. His friends will mourn, and that is it. And the other thing too is that the last conversation that Saul and Mookie have together, I think, is really emblematic of their whole entire relationship. Because Saul, like, they're mad at each other, and Saul gives them like $500.
But the way he gave $500 was shitty. He threw it at him. That is so demeaning.
Yeah.
That is like, you treat like that's. He didn't think of us as a human at that point.
I think he still did. 'Cause listen, he gave him they're shitty at each other. He still gave him $500, right? And then Mookie was like, I threw it back up.
Money
and he was like, you $50. And then Saul's like, take the money. He's like, no, fuck you. You take the money. You take the money. And he sit there and look at it. And then like Saul like looks at the ground. He's like, come on, man. Like, fucking take it. And then Mookie still grabs the money up and takes it anyway. And I feel like Saul is a shitty dad. That to me feels like a shitty dad thing for whatever reason.
Just throwing money at the problem.
No, I mean, yeah, that, but also like the way he's like, I'm trying to take it. He's doing a little extra for Mookie. He's like, I'm trying to take care of you, but also fuck you, right? Like feels like that's how Saul leads his whole entire family. Probably, I don't fucking know, but like, you know, when Saul was saying that Mookie would always have a place at the pizzeria, he's like, my boys are gonna take this over one day, and like, sure, he's talking to Mookie like his family, but we already know Mookie's never gonna. I don't think Mookie's rising in the ranks here, right? Is Mookie's going to get to open his own Sauls?
Right. No.
Saul and brothers, he's gonna be like, Mookie, it's Saul and Sons. Like, you're not really one of the sons. You know what I mean? Like, what? Mookie's going to fucking run his own Italian pizza joint somewhere in New York in the 80s that feels a little far-fetched. So, like, he doesn't have a chance here. He's doing his job here. He's not being a great employee, but, like, still, he's around. And, I don't know, just their last conversation kind of wraps things up. And, like, don't even talk about Radio Raheem. And then we get these last two quotes about the movie. From the movie. I'm going to read them off.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Martin Luther King, these are two quotes on violence at the end of the movie. It's Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Martin Luther King says, violence as a way of achieving racial justice is both impractical and immoral. It's impractical because it's a descending spiral ending in destruction for all. Read the rest of the quote. You guys can find it. I'm not going to read them both. They're kind of long. And then it's Malcolm X's quote, which is, I think there are plenty of good people in America, but there are also plenty of bad people in America. And the bad ones are the ones who seem to have all of the power and be in a position to block things that you and I need.
Damn.
Which kind of feels like fucking today still. And then he goes, it doesn't mean that I advocate violence, but at the same time, I'm not against using violence in self-defense. And in this situation, it doesn't seem like they're using violence. We're going to call the first act of violence. The first act of violence, I guess, is the radio being broken with a baseball bat. Really, if we're talking about damaging of property, honestly, who damaged property first, right? If that's the big indicator that something's fucked up, who damaged property first? But the getting the window broken, it's violent. It's a violent act, but it's just property. And I think in America, we really put a lot of value on property, even over human life, a lot, even still today. And I don't mind his property getting fucked up in response to Radio Raheem losing his life.
Yeah.
It sucks that it's happening in a neighborhood, but it really sucks that radio's dead. And like, it's not going to fix shit. It's a fucking riot now. And all the things leading up to the riot are the things that need to be addressed, not just the riot itself.
Right.
People get mad at the riot, but not the things that led up to it. And this is why they're going to happen again. Because you're not fixing the shit that paves the way.
Who was the person that stopped from them attacking the Koreans? Was it the mayor?
No, it was Sweet Dick Willie and the three of them. They started walking over because they was mad about it anyway, and then they just weren't. They were just like, whatever.
He said, I'm black, man.
Said, I'm black. He said, you black? All right, fine, man. I guess. Fuck it. Which, I mean, I think, too, it felt like everyone kind of got burnt out. Like, it wasn't worth it. And then the police show up, and it's even worse.
Yeah.
Luckily, 1989, things have drastically changed.
Yeah, good thing that was so long ago, and things aren't doing that still.
We're so much better in America now and not dealing with the same shit.
Also, I couldn't remember one of the people in the crowd when the riot was happening, like when they killed him. It was like said one of the cops was also black.
Yeah, Smiley said, Smiley's one of my favorite characters. Smiley's
he
said one of the cops was also black. I mean, yeah, that doesn't matter. Look at what black cops just did 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whatever. That's not the point. The point is that the whole structure is fucked. Like, also these guys are, last thing before we wrap it up and talk about what the next movie is, a lot of these guys I feel like are fighting institutionalized racism and they don't have a word for it and they don't realize it, and I bet they feel crazy.
Yeah.
Because when the three of them are sitting talking, he's like, man, I can't get this fucking job or something like that. And he's like, it's because I'm a black man. He's like, I'm tired of that shit, but it's like, but there are barriers in place. Oh, because the dude was like, I'm going to open up my own store here one day. And he's like, yeah, open up shit. Like, how the fuck are you?
Right.
Yeah,
he's like, now I'm going to go over here and spend my money with the Koreans.
So, also, that I mean, it makes it for very questions. Like, the Koreans are able to get the shop ruler that quickly and he can't. I mean,
why can't he?
the system is built. So
I mean, I also imagine he probably doesn't have a great job. And then the question is going to be, why doesn't he have a great job? Maybe the Koreans got a loans. How come he can't get a loan? Like, yeah, it's going to be all like, you don't even, I feel like now we have a lot of those answers. We don't even, like, back in the day, though, you probably have to feel like you're being gaslit by the world.
Yeah, it's...
Well, next week's movie is going to be Black Dynamite.
Nice.
Black Dynamite.
Black Dynamite.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That's a good one.
Hell yeah. Thanks for hanging out with the podcast. This, I think, will be the last heavy movie we talk about for Black History Month. Now it's only fun movies from here on out.
Yeah, house party, baby.
The house party double feature. Maybe we sincerely might end the month with a house party double feature.
That'd be a good one.
I'm kind of down for that. So, you guys have to watch both movies, though. This will be a double feature. You're going to get done tat. Well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out the podcast. Stick around for the raid. Let us know what you thought about this movie, and have a great weekend, y'all. It's been real.
Bye.
Talking Normies.